Alright, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary, it's time to talk about the most hype moment of the year. Who has the worst apology from last month? On one corner, we have Cole the Racist. And on the other corner, we have Just to Defend Groomer. Now we have our competitors. We'll tell you which one's worse after these messages. Okay, results are in. They both suck. Movie time, yeah. The movie we're talking about this month is Gem and the Holograms, yeah. Based on the cartoon from the 80s, it's more of an adaptation that isn't really good of an adaptation. Let me get started with the cartoon. For the 2 episodes I've seen of it, it's fine. It's a cartoon from the 80s. It isn't exactly groundbreaking, but it has its moments. As for the movie, no, this movie fucking sucked, dude. Like, actually. It feels both as an adaptation and its own thing. Although it's not as bad as being on Twitter. Barely. Matter of fact, this movie sucked so badly that nobody, like, fucking saw it. And I like to believe it's probably gonna be the reason why Gem and the Holograms will probably not be seen again for a long time. Which, saying that out loud, must sound extremely devastating for a Gem and the Hologram fan.
I'm sad too.
It's probably not helped by the fact this movie was not made with the original creator. So yeah, it just feels more aimless and bad. This year, this movie will be 10 years old. Sometimes I'm in disbelief that 2015 was 10 years ago. Holy shit. Well, let's see how this movie kind of killed the franchise, I think. Yeah, I don't want a really good intro for this one. Fuck. Okay, movie starts and it seems like the guys behind the FNAF movie made this. No reason, I just thought it'd be funny. Alright, the movie actually starts by telling Gem about her epic anime backstory. She talks about how her life started with her sister Kimberly, and her 2 foster sisters, along with her epic aunt.
Now there's only one missing piece, and it's a big one. My dad, Emmett.
Oh yeah, and she also has a dead dad. But also doesn't have a mom, apparently. But also just like no explanation how he died. I guess the dead parent's disease has finally caught up to him. And yes, he is building a robot, which I will mention a little later. This film also has a lot of filming on these smaller cameras, which is a fine thing, honestly. But at the same time, it kind of gets pretty annoying.
So if anyone asks, I was here all morning.
We thought you were.
Hello, I'm your neighbor. I will see you later.
This is the warning to every parent out there. If your kid is on right now, there is a Virgin and Robot publication.
It's time.
Kimber, hit a C note.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, let's go.
What the fuck is happening? Huh, I guess they say it's true. Hitting a C note does solve all your problems. Eventually, we do see Gem and her sisters dressing up in costumes and pretending that they're in a band, which is, cool, I guess. But then, whoa, they get a fucking eviction notice. Yeah.
Doesn't that mean that we could all be separated? You know what? Okay, 30 days. That's what they're giving us. I mean, there has to be something that we can do.
There is. We can be strong for each other.
This is the saddest day of my life.
Great advice, yeah. Okay, eventually she starts getting a camera and starts filming. Tries to think of a sick-ass intro, where she fails like multiple times. This eventually gets her to put on a wig and become emo, and starts singing while her other sisters are trying to fucking sleep. While Gem wants the video deleted, Kimberly decides to keep it and put it on YouTube. He even posts it on YouTube, where somehow the video gets comedically popular overnight. Damn, not even YouTubers back in early YouTube got this popular, dude.
Look, every time I refresh it, it just keeps going up.
What? No way.
Pick that one.
Back, I'm here with Erica Raymond, founder and CEO of Recording Empire, Starlight Enterprises,
Yeah, even a big corporation wants their name on there too. Like, what the fuck? Like, damn, Gem must have hit the fucking jackpot or some shit. After we see a clip of a squirrel skiing for some reason, we get to Gem and her aunt. Gem is like, I don't know, man, I'm not sure if I want to do this. And her aunt is like, come on, man. I mean, we've got a house to fucking save. Gem is like, okay. Then we cut to her talking to the Edmore head corporation. Which leads me to talk about the most annoying part about the movie, these random bits of music videos that just show up. Especially for like no rhyme or reason. It's happened a bit in the movie and they're just annoying as fuck, so yeah, the worst parts of the movie. Man, don't you hate when you're trying to make a sentence but it just accidentally types into the poo emoji? Yeah, it happened to my cousin Bill that one time. Next morning, we see Jem's on talking to this agent. And then we meet the evil CEO, who is just, yeah, kind of a bitch.
Which reminds me, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, all of that, until further notice, none of it.
Well, I mean, I guess that's for the best. I mean, have you seen Twitter? After meeting the CEO's son, we have a whole fashion montage. After that, they bump into this guy who barely has any relevance, so I'll never mention him again. And then we go to the CEO's son's house. And then we get a fucking curtain shot. Jem and the hologram fans when they see a curtain. After that, a light just starts to glow. Which is Synergy, if you need a reminder, it was the robot that the dad made. Now, in the show, Synergy looked like this. A giant screen of a keyboard and a lot of other things you can do. In the movie, Synergy looks like this. It looks like that fucking droid from the Star Wars sequels I forgot the name of. And I think also encapsulates another problem with this movie. It's not very accurate to the source material. Strikingly different and in a bad way. But I'll discuss more about that once I'm done with talking about the movie. And it looks like Synergy is showing them something. And it's a big old map. After stealing the CEO's son's keys, another random YouTube video shows up. Yippee! And then they find the piece. How Jem's dad managed to hide this imperfect place with nobody finding it for years is beyond me. Then uh-oh, the CEO's son finds them.
Now tell me, where's Team Tide heading off to today?
After they jump off the water, yeah, they do that because the police found them. Jem and the CEO's son start talking and shit, and yeah. And Synergy can now fucking beatbox, hell yeah! Man, not even Synergy needs auto-tune. After that, they start getting ready for the concert. And they all look so cool and swag, and also Synergy's here. They start to play their song, but whoa, the power goes out. Imagine having your first concert and the fucking power goes out. But it's okay, everyone still decided to sing because they're having such a good time. Just where the next piece is, but that's not really important. After this, it gets to random YouTube videos and interviews, yeah. I can probably see what they're trying to do, give a more community vibe with this movie, and I kinda get that. But man, if only that was in a better movie and better handled. After the totally interesting conversation with Jem and the CEO's son, she realized, oh shit, yeah, our house is getting evicted. Why did it take me this long to notice? Oh no. Oh, sorry for all the animatic battle jokes and mentions in this entire video. It's just that I'd rather be watching that instead. So Jem and the evil CEO decides to sign a contract that makes her a soul star. She does this shit and proceeds to not tell her fucking sisters. Good job, asshole. Then she goes on stage and dressed up as Lady Gaga for some reason, while these two fucking dancers do, I don't know, dancing. Probably the only good part about the movie, because I just think these dancers just look cool. That's it.
In July 1973, the Everly Brothers self-destructed in front of a sold-out crowd. Phil smashed a guitar over Don's head and stormed off stage. It's a story that's been told over and over and over again. It happens. Bands break up. But we were supposed to be different.
Dude, you guys fucking broke up after one song. And what the fuck does those guys have to do with anything in this entire movie? Then she looks out the window and sees a family being happy in a house, so I presume it's hers. And she gets really sad. This could all have been resolved if she actually paid off her fucking house. But then the entire gang gets back together again and stuff. And yeah, I'm getting tired of doing this video. And then everyone remembered they had a puzzle to solve, so they decided to go to the hotel, the building, the fucking building. Goddamn. Where apparently for some reason Jem and her sisters decided to wear costumes and disguises. Like, aren't they fucking celebrities? This makes like no sense. Jem and the CEO's son start going through the safe when another goddamn YouTube video plays. They get to the last piece. Also the will from the CEO's son's dad. I guess he must have died off screen too. We cut to the security, and it seems all the cameras have been replaced with a scroll skiing. They for some reason find this the funniest shit they have ever seen. They find that shit funny, they should probably watch Animatic Battle. I say that because Animatic Battle's pretty funny. After everything, we finally get to see what they've been searching for.
Pretty cool, right? If you're seeing this, then the curious little girl who used to sneak into my workshop has grown.
Yep, that was the big reveal. The thing Jim was searching for all this time and shit. And the thing he was doing instead of sustaining their futures was making a hologram and for Jem and just Jem. I guess, fuck Kimberly, I guess. I know you guys are like, why the fuck did he do this? I'm just wondering how the fuck he did this. Like, how did he hide like 2 of the 3 pieces and like nobody noticed for years? How the hell did he hid it in a giant office building? That Jem would just be happening to know. Okay, fuck, this movie does not deserve this credit. I'm gonna rush this through because this movie does not deserve a proper conclusion. Jem finishes her apology video. The CEO gets fired on top of just a fucking another YouTube video. And it's the worst one yet here because it's just not appropriate to the scene. Everyone lives happy ever after. And the antagonist of Jem, which was some of the few things from the show, shows up for a sequel that will never happen. Man, that movie fucking sucked, dude. What the fuck? This movie is bad. It's bad as an adaptation and its own thing. For an adaptation, this movie has barely anything to do with the original show. Sure, it's the bad guys from the show, but they appear in the end of the film. And tease for a sequel bait that will never happen. Sure, synergy is here, but they look so different from how they looked like in the show. And as its own film, it's not even great on that either. None of the characters are remotely interesting. Random clips of YouTube videos is just fucking distracting. Oh yeah, there's also songs in this movie. I didn't mention them because they're all fucking boring and forgettable. Like, legitimately, what the fuck were they cooking in this movie? About easily the worst part about this entire film, it's the fucking scavenger hunt shit. Like, what the hell were they cooking with this? The whole shit being a hologram makes me wonder why he thought just doing all this would be necessary. So I'm still curious how the fuck he managed to do this without anybody at least noticing something from his. I hope that at best, this film is really boring and just nothing interesting happening. Kind of a good example is the CEO, who is the antagonist of the film, and she, well, man, Jem signed a contract. He's kind of a bitch. In conclusion, yeah, this movie definitely did kill the franchise, or at least did pretty heavy damage to it. Although there wasn't much fan film being made, which is definitely interesting. No, I'm not watching it because I don't feel like it. So yeah, while this movie isn't the worst thing I've seen, or let alone the worst thing I've covered between both of my channels, but you know what, this entire video has been a bit negative, so fuck it, I've been mentioning it throughout the entire video. I'll talk a little bit about Animatic Battle. I mean, when am I ever gonna talk about it? I mean, maybe I'll make an entire video about the show on its own. But you know what, yeah, Animatic Battle's pretty good. It gives me nice pre-split BFB vibes, which is nice. I like the pretty large cast. They aren't all perfect, but most of them are still pretty decent. Animations are pretty good. Yeah, that's all I gotta say with the animation. It's pretty good. My favorite episode is probably episode 3, but my least favorite is probably episode 1. Those are animatic. They're cool. So yeah, watch Animatic Battle. It's pretty good. Except for whatever this piece of shit was.
Heyo, little guy, can you say that again? I couldn't quite hear it, you know.
I said Family Guy is trash.
Tá fudido, meu parceiro. Não brincou com a pessoa errada.